So many home improvement contractors are running their business like this box of Legos. And they've got all these pieces, and they're trying to piece them together. They don't know what goes where. They're like, do I start with the red and then the white and then the white? Oh, no, that's not right. Take it apart, and I'll put the blue at the bottom. Oh, that didn't work. I'll go the brown. And the problem is you're trying to build something that you don't know what it looks like. Imagine instead of having all these random pieces, you actually had something that you could look at and say, this is what I'm trying to build from all these random parts. Wouldn't that make things so much easier to do? Guess what? If you have an instruction manual on how to build that, all of a sudden they're not just random pieces. They're part of a bigger project and a bigger puzzle. And if I've not met you before, my name's Steve Huber. I've personally run some of the largest home improvement contractors in the U.S. My teams have sold over $2 billion worth of projects. And today I own a company called Billion Dollar Contractor. We work with many of the top residential home improvement companies in the United States, and we help them put together incredible businesses. I'm going to show you something today we call the Scorecard. It takes about 10 minutes a week to put together, and it is your instruction manual on how to build the thing that you want to build. So if you feel like you're constantly putting out fires, you're constantly trying to build something, take it apart, build it again, take it apart, build it, take it apart, you don't know what to work on, you don't know what to focus on, it's frantic every time you go to work, or every time you open up your computer, take a breath. Today, we're going to help you out. And the great news is it's pretty simple to put together, pretty quick and easy. It takes about 10 minutes, and I'm going to share with you the exact template so that you can build it yourself. Let me share my screen. I'll show you exactly how it works. All right, I'm going to pull up a brand new Google Sheet, and I'm just going to build the scorecard with you so you can take notes and see exactly how I do it. I'm also just going to include everything down below for you guys and the actual link to the sheet. So if you wanted to skip all the building part yourself and just jump to it, go for it, okay? I'm going to call it the weekly scorecard. And what I like to do is I always like to start off with our goal. And I'm going to set our goal at 500,000. Oh, heck, we'll set it at $1 million. Why not? See if I got a millionaire. Hey, I did. What do you know? Now, I always start with our ASP and our goal as well. So my ASP is, what is our average sales price? And by the way, you should have unique instruction manuals for every product that you want to build. So if you have this for roofing, solar, HVAC, windows, fences, whatever it is that you sell, build one of these that's unique for each product line. It's going to help you guys out. Make sure that you manage each line uniquely and you understand what's going on. So my average sales price, let's just say this is for a roofing company, $20,000 is my average sales price, which means I need to sell, customers needed. I'm simply going to take what my goal is for the month and divide it by how much each customer is worth. It's going to tell me I need to sell 50 customers. Now, next thing I like to do is I like to talk about it's called a marketing percent. Marketing percent. What percent of my sales are going to come from marketing versus referrals, self-gen, things like that, word of mouth or things along those lines. What do I need to spend money to acquire my customers? And I'm going to say that I need to acquire 80% of my customers through marketing. Again, every company is unique. This is just an example. So, customers needed from marketing. We'll just make this a little bit bigger here. I'm simply going to take the amount of total customers that I need, and I'm going to see what 80% of that number is. 40. Customers needed from referrals. It's simply the difference. 50 customers overall, 40 are coming from marketing, means I need to be getting 10 from somewhere else. Now, where most people go wrong here is they don't actually understand that they have to have a marketing plan in place to generate the activities needed to sell 40 customers. And we're going to work backwards, all the way back to marketing spend to see what's needed so we can ensure that we have the right firepower going into the month to hit the numbers and the goals that we want to hit. So let's say that I'm going to start with close rate. And let's say that your close rate is 25%. That means I need to sit appointments, or we'll say presentations needed. My close rate's 25%, and I'm trying to get 10 sales. Or 40 sales. What number is 40 25% of? And to do that, I divide. I need 160 presentations, so I can close 25% of them, which is 40. All right. Now, of course, as we all know, I have to set a certain amount of appointments. And some of the appointments that I set, I'm not going to present to because they're going to fall off. They're either going to reschedule. They're going to no-show me. We call that a sit rate. And our sit rate, we'll put a percentage in here. Let's say that my sit rate is 75%, which is pretty common. Appointments needed. If I can sit 75% of my appointments, and I'm trying to get to 160, that means I need to set 213 appointments so that 75% show up and I actually sit down with 160. By the way, some of these are going to round off in funky little math numbers here. Don't worry about it. You're not building the International Space Station. You're building a construction company. It's not the end of the world. Now, if I'm going to sit 213 appointments or schedule 213 appointments, I need to get a certain amount of leads in so that I can call them up, schedule the appointment with them, then they show up, then I sell them. So we call that a booking rate. What is the percentage of leads that we get that ultimately we schedule an appointment with? And again, every company is unique here. I'm going to say 50%. Just for easy math. So my leads needed is going to be 426. And then finally, we have cost per lead. What does each lead cost from a marketing perspective to generate? All right. And let's say that your average cost per lead is $100. That means I need to spend $46,000. Oops, I put it in the wrong spot there, guys. This is spend needed. $42,000, so I can generate 427 leads at $100 a piece. Of the 427 leads that I generate, I'm going to book appointments with half of them, which means that I'm going to book 213 appointments. Of the 213 appointments that I book, 75% are going to show up, which means 160 people show up. Of the 160 people that show up and I present to, I'm going to close 25% of them, which means I'm going to get 40 sales. Those 40 sales, combined with the 10 I'm going to get from referrals, means I have 50 sales total at 20 grand each. Means I got $1 million in revenue. Pretty simple math, right? Now, I will say, most of you are going to have a blind spot in here. You're going to have something that you don't know. In fact, many of you may have never tracked data like this at all. And that happens all the time. It's why it's the very first thing that we do with all of our clients. We literally go through this exercise and build it. When I say, what's your ASP? 90% of contractors don't know that number. So we have to go pull it and calculate it and pull it in. If I say, how much of your business comes from marketing versus self-general referral work? Most contractors don't know that. They got to go pull it and pull it in. And so those things, fixing your blind spots, is really the very first thing that you need to do. That's how you manage with real vision and goals. Remember, our goal is to get out of all the pieces that are random and feel like we're not constantly putting out fires all day long, and actually get clear on what it is that we want to build and come up with instructions on how to do it. What we've just done is come up with that plan. I want to sell $1 million. That's my toucan, right? My daughter's toucan. To do that, I need to do these things. That is your instructions. Now, why do I call it a weekly scorecard? Let me show you exactly how we break that down so that you're not constantly screwing things up that actually are working pretty dang well. Probably one of the other things that we see all the time, people are actually doing a lot of really great things. They just don't even know they're doing great things because they don't have a real goal to begin with. Let me show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these big metrics that I have here, and I'm just going to copy them over here. And so I'm just copying and pasting here. Customers needed, I needed 50. My customers needed from marketing referrals, presentations, my appointments, my leads, and my spend. So what I want to do is I'm going to put needed per day. And a couple things we're going to use here to put this together. So days this month. I happen to be recording this in October. There are 31 days in the month. So if I have 31 days in the month and I'm trying to hit $1 million, the customers, or I'm trying to hit, let's actually put revenue in here too. Why not? Whoop. See if I can drag that down a little bit. And it's not going to let me. One more second. I know this is crazy boring. All right, there we go. Revenue goal. Okay, we just simply go here and say revenue divided by the days in the month. I need to sell $32,000 per day for 31 days to hit $1 million. Customers, 50 divided by 31. Customers needed from marketing divided by 31. And you get the point. Okay, I'm just going to grab all of these numbers and divide them by my days in the month. Now, while I do this, I just want to caveat, sometimes things do not work linearly. In other words, the month isn't broken up equally into 31 pieces in some areas. I'll give you an example. One of the sales teams that I directly managed, we were doing about 25 to 30 million bucks a month. And so you may look at that and say, oh my gosh, it's like $1 million a day. But it actually wasn't $1 million a day. We had a lot of promotions. We had a lot of moving spiffs and things like that. And I knew, because I had track record going back for years, that I was going to double the amount of sales. Whatever I did the first half of the month, I was going to double that for the back half of the month. Again, just with the way that our company worked. So if my goal was 30 million and I had sold 10 million by the 15th, most people would be freaking out. Oh my gosh, I'm so off pace. I should be at 15 million right now and I'm only at 10. I'm $5 million off pace. But I knew that I was going to sell double that on the back side. So if I was at 10, I was going to sell 20 million on the back end, and my 20 plus my 10 was going to add up to my 30 that I needed overall. Now again, some of those things just work like that. Others don't. Your marketing spend, for example, shouldn't be wavy throughout the month. It needs to be fairly consistent because I need that consistent lead flow. My leads coming in should be pretty consistent because I'm spending the same amount of money, right? So understand your business. That's going to give you some of that plan and that instructions on where things need to be. So here's what I need per day. I just took my goal, I divided it by 31. So pace for month to date. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, all right, current days completed. How many days in the month have I completed when I'm filling out this form? Let's say I've completed 7. So through the 7th, through 7 completed days, if today is the 8th, by the way, I've not completed 8 days, I've only completed 7. I should be at 225,000 today, minimum, to be on pace for the month. And again, everything works per per your company. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little formula in here so it makes my life easier so you guys don't have to see me manually type all these things in. Again, if you want to copy this, I got it down below for you. All right. I need to spend $9,600. Let me shorten these up a little bit so they're a little easier to read for us all. All right. And these are not dollar amounts. They are normal numbers. There we go. All right. I need to spend $9,600 by today to generate 96 leads. So I could set 48 appointments. Means I could set 36 of them to sell 9. I need 2 customers from referral, which gives me ultimately 11 sales in the month. Now here's why we call this a weekly scorecard. Month to date. We'll go current or actual. Month to date. Okay? Your team is going to fill this in every week. And if that team is you, then you fill it in every single week. All right? I'll give you an example of somebody that I was talking to yesterday. And I'm just going to change their goal just so it's a little bit closer to what I was working with them on. They're about $6 million a year company they're trying to be right now. And our goal for the month was $500,000. Revenues so far, I want to say they were at 125, something like that. They had 5 customers, and all 5 were from marketing. No referrals. Presentations, we had done 15. Appointments, we had done 25. And leads was actually at like 30. And our spend was $2,500. Now here's what normally happens. First off, most of you are working like this. I'm going to hide all this. You say, oh my gosh, it's our goal's $500,000 and we're only at 125. What's going on? We're behind. Let's start pulling levers. Let's start breaking things. And you're not working with data understanding where you need to be. Now, for my customer, overall sales was down. We were supposed to be at 6. We were at 5. But revenue was actually ahead of where we need to be for the month. We were selling bigger customers than we had anticipated, which is awesome. It's one of the things we were actually working on is how do we get this ASP up? I don't like they were at 20 grand. Let's try and get them to 30 grand. Okay. We had no referrals coming in. That's something we need to go back to the sales team and talk to them about. Hey, are we getting enough referrals? What are we doing? How's it going? What can happen? I'm not freaking out about it too bad because my goal was 1. So we could have that 1 signed tonight and life is good. We're not off that much. And overall, we're actually working pretty dang efficiently. We're selling more jobs off fewer presentations, which is great. Appointments needed, also on pace. But look at our leads. I needed 48 leads to get 24 appointments. We got 25 appointments with only 30 leads. So, shout out to the call center and our booking team for booking more appointments than we had anticipated off less leads. Awesome job, crew. We're also selling and converting at a higher rate than we thought we were going to be. And we're selling bigger jobs than we thought we were going to sell. Why is the month feeling light? Because we're not spending enough money. Now, for this particular client, we actually were trying a new marketing source. And we got with our marketing team and said, why are we not spending $688 per day? We're spending lower than that. It's about $300 per day. And their answer was really simple. Well, we're trying to buy all the leads we can through this one lead channel, and I simply can't spend enough money in that one channel. There's not enough activity for me to buy enough eyeballs to spend the money. I literally can't spend the money that we want to spend there. And this happens somewhat often. And that's why I'm not spending enough cash. So there's a couple ways that we could look at this. As the owner, this is a conversation you need to have. I could either just spend less because I'm making the same amount of sales up here. Great. Who doesn't want to spend half the amount on leads and generate more revenue? Life is good. What's that? 10% more revenue for half the amount of lead volume. Awesome. Because we made a couple efficiencies in the middle. Or we could look at it and say, you know what? We actually are humming and firing on all cylinders. If we thought we were going to be good here and making a bunch of money, we're going to be really good if we can put $4,800 into this thing. What do we want to do? This particular client said, you know what? Move that money from the lead source we can't spend enough with to lead sources we know work and we can spend enough with. And let's ramp that spend up. Let's get even more flowing into our money machine here. And guys, that's how you end up cranking past the numbers that you put out here. It's not, we didn't go back to the sales team and say you need to sell more. We didn't freak out. We actually just realized the problem was we weren't spending enough. And we had to convert and put more money into marketing, not fix anything, which is a wonderful thing to have. So remember, you may, when we're putting our Legos together, you may actually have some of the right pieces together. You may actually be building in the right order. But if you don't know what it is that you're trying to build to begin with, it's really hard to realize that. And if you don't have instructions on how you get there, it makes it almost impossible. So start just getting your data down. And again, if you don't have insight and visibility into this today, I went through this with a client of mine. Again, it was the first thing that we do. He was like making phone calls and pulling up QuickBooks. It took him like an hour to go and actually pull like half the data. And even then he's like, I don't feel good about this. I think it's wrong. Those kind of blind spots are why you feel the way you do. It's why you feel lost or like you're always putting together different pieces and pulling different levers. It's because you don't even know it's working. We've not defined what a win is. And that's what the scorecard does for you guys. Just gets you on pace. All right, if that was helpful for you, like I said, I'll put the link down below for you guys so you can go pull up the scorecard yourself. It's already built out, ready to go. Plug your numbers in and see what it comes back at. If this was helpful, like and subscribe to the channel. I try and put really great content out there for you guys to help you grow a really great and exceptional contracting business. Again, I've been in the business for a long time, and this is how you build a great company. It's remarkable. Eventually, you'll get so good at your numbers, you'll actually be like really close. I think my record so far was like on a $15 million month, I was within $12 because I understood my data that well. And there's no reason you can't do the same. All right. Get your arms around your data. You're going to be in good shape. Of course, if you need help, you don't know what you're looking at, you don't know where to begin. You're like, this looks like a pain in the butt. I just need someone to help me out with this and walk me through it. That's what we do here at $1 Billion Contractor. It's one of the things that we do. Our goal is to put together a kick-ass plan for you, with you, and have you go execute on it and just basically help point in the right direction. We find out most contractors are actually like really great hard workers. They just need some help and need some guidance, which is why I started the company to begin with. So if that sounds like you, go to billiondollarcontractor.com. Check it out. You can book an appointment with us right there. We're here to see you win. Until next time, my name's Steve, and I'll catch you later.